Hey guys, it's Dave. It's winter, and it's a good time to start restoring this 1973 Honda TL125. So today I've got some new front fork parts. I've got new front fork oil seals, dust seals, and some new front fork oil. So I pulled the left fork off. I'm going to bring it over to the bench, and I'm going to change all the seals and put fresh oil in it. So here we are, we got the fork, we've got our two seals, the oil seal and the dust seal, and some new fork oil. First thing I want to do is empty the oil out of this shock, whatever oil may be in there, I don't know. It's not leaking at all, but who knows what may or may not be inside here. So I know there's supposed to be 4.5 ounces of oil in here. Well, it didn't look like 4.5 ounces, but that's okay. It looks golden. Oh, it almost looks like motor oil, because I think the oil that goes in here is clear. It could just be discolored from being in there for 50 years, but it doesn't really matter. It's out. Alright, let's get this rubber boot off. Okay, dust boot's off. And if you look in here, there's a little retaining clip. I'm going to pop this clip out. Looks like that. And so now, to get this apart, we've got an Allen bolt in the end of it. We have to remove that. Alright, a 6mm Allen. Okay. That's what that looks like. And now I think we can separate the bottom from the top, just in case there's oil in here. Okay. So here's where the spring is. There's another spring inside here. I don't think I'm going to tamper with this, because really there was nothing wrong. I just want to put new seals in here because it's 50 years old. But I'm not really interested in tearing this thing apart further at this point, so I'll set this aside. And now I want to replace that seal in there. Alright, let's get this seal out of here. Hopefully this won't be too big of a issue or a problem. And there's also a metal part of the seal that's still in here that needs to come out. I knew that couldn't be that easy. So when I look at the new seal, you know, the outer portion of this seal is steel, and it presses in here. And so the thickness of this seal is the thickness of this metal part. What I think I did is I just separated the oil seal from the outside metal part that actually presses in here. So we got to get this out as well. Alright, so here's my plan. This thing is wedged in here very good. I don't have any kind of a blind bearing puller to get behind it to pull it out. So I think if I cut like a relief cut in this thing and relieve some of the strength of it, then I might be able to pry it out a little better. So I got a little hacksaw blade without damaging anything. Let's see if we can't get through here a little bit. So I don't want to cut a mark in this outside tube because then oil will just be able to leak past it. Alright, so you can see what I'm trying to do here. All I'm trying to do is just cut through this outside part of the seal to weaken it so that I can pry it out, because it's in here very strong. But I don't want to cut through it and then start cutting the aluminum. Come on. Oh, here we go. Just go slow. Here we go. Come on. You know you want to come out of there. Yay. And there it is. See this outer metal part? And I didn't cut through it, so there's no way that I damaged inside here. Okay, that's out. Okay, now that I've got the seal out, there's one other part that is now able to come out, which is this. So this goes in, then the seal goes in, and then the rod goes in. And now this ugliness has to be dealt with. Alright, I think what I want to do with this thing is put it in my glass bead cabinet. I think there's like a clear coat on this, and the clear coat has chipped, and it looks terrible. I mean, look at that. So, bead blast it. We'll see what it looks like, and then we'll go from there. Alright, here we are, 5 minutes in the blast cabinet, and we've got it clean and removed all of, possibly the clear coat or protective coating, whatever it may have had on it. That was all ugly. So now it's clean, but it's not much prettier. I want to kind of shine this up a little bit. I don't think I want it like a mirror shine like a chrome plate or a highly aluminum buff. I think originally they just look like they're kind of brushed aluminum. So let's take it over to the buffing wheel and see what we can make this look like. Alright, so here I am at my buffer. I've got like a Scotch-Brite pad kind of wheel on it. And we're going to drag it across this wheel and see what it looks like. Oh my God. You see that? That looks freaking awesome. Ugliness. Beauty. Alright, I'm going to do this whole shock like this and see what it looks like. Okay, so after about 15 minutes on the buffing wheel, here are the results. Look at that. That is awesome. Love it. Perfect. Alright, now here's this other part of the shock. I want to clean this up. And all I'm going to do with this, it looks nice, a little bit of dirt and debris up in the top area. I'm just going to take some steel wool and I'm just going to wipe it down with steel wool. just a couple minutes with some steel wool. And looks beautiful. Okay, got everything all cleaned up. Time for reassembly. So we've got to put our new seal in this bottom unit. But before I put the seal in, I have to make sure to remember to install this. And then press the seal in. I'm going to go over to the workbench and tap this in on the vise. Alright, I got my piece inside there. I'm going to press the seal in. I'm going to take a little bit of fork oil to lubricate the area to help it slide in. And then the closest thing I have is a 1 1/8 inch socket. Snap this clip in here. Okay, now it's time to put the two halves together. We've got this piece that's inside the shock. And this end needs to go in it like that. So I'm going to set it in there now so I don't have to fish around for it when it's in there. I also want to, I want to put some oil on that seal just to help it slide in place nice and easy. Alright, so the seal's got oil on it. Put that on like that. And then secure the Allen nut in the bottom. Get some torque on this thing. And so now we have this starting to look more and more like the original shock. Okay. Let's see what I want to do next. Alright, so getting 4.5 ounces of oil through this little hole here. Could be difficult. And so I'm just going to use a syringe, fill this thing up and shoot it in the hole because I can't just sit here and drip it. It'll be here forever. Okay, and then the final 33 milliliters. I'm fighting air pressure to keep it in here as well, because I'm putting oil in, but there's no air to bleed out. And there we go. Four and a half ounces. drive it. So far so good. Now I just need to put a dust cap on the top. Alright, and the final step is to slide this dust cap over the top. I mean, this thing is pretty stiff and pretty rigid and tight, so I'm going to warm it up to kind of soften it up. Yeah, it's a lot softer. So let me see if I can slide it right down. There we go. Now as that cools, it'll clamp down. Okay, here's a kind of a before and after. Let's see what I started with. Ugh. And what I finish with. Look at that. That's awesome. Okay, here we are. We're all set. Look at these forks. Amazing. They look amazing. Unbelievable. And they've got new oil seals. They got new fresh oil in them. They've got new dust seals. And they are ready to go. I enjoyed that. That was fun. And they look fantastic. I've got some other videos coming up. We've got to take care of this front wheel. Got to get this thing looking like brand new again. Can't bolt that old ugly thing onto these beautiful forks. So stay tuned for future videos on this 1973 Honda TL125. If you enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, thanks for watching.